All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're really going to get into the tough realities of one of India's most challenging qualifications, chartered accountancy. Is it actually the golden ticket everyone seems to think it is? Well, let's find out.
So let's start with this one. Pass CA and life is set. I mean, you've heard it, right? We've all heard it. It's a really powerful and, popular belief. But the actual journey to becoming a chartered accountant, it's filled with twists and turns that this simple phrase just completely ignores.
So, where does this whole journey even begin? Well, for most people, it's in the exact same place, right after the 12th grade, absolutely fueled by huge dreams and a level of confidence that is at an all-time high. And this, right here, this really captures that post-12th mindset, doesn't it? Just look at that confidence bar. It's at 95%. But then you look over at realism, yeah, that's down at 15%. When you're 17 or 18, you feel kind of invincible, like CA is just another challenge you're going to conquer. And it's exactly this mindset that leads so many to make a massive decision, skipping a traditional college experience to go all in on CI.
Okay, so the first step, the first official hurdle is the CA Foundation exam. But, and this is a big but, that initial victory can be so misleading. It often sets students up for a major shock down the road.
There's a really good reason it's called a false dream. In terms of how difficult it is, the foundation exam isn't really a huge leap from your 12th grade boards. So passing it feels incredible, but that feeling builds this dangerous sense of security about the storm that's gathering just over the horizon.
Here's maybe a better way to think about it. Passing the foundation exam is about as relevant to passing the CA final as your 10th grade results were for your 12th grade exams. It's just not a good predictor of future success. Actually, that early win often creates an overconfidence that becomes the single biggest obstacle for the real challenge that's coming next.
All right, so if foundation was the false dawn, what does the real challenge look like? Well, now we get to the CA intermediate exam. It's the stage that many people call the great filter, where all those dreams collide with a pretty harsh reality. The jump from foundation to intermediate is it's enormous. We're talking at least 10 times the difficulty. And it demands a complete mental reset. The overconfidence that got you through the first part, yeah, that has to be replaced with humility. And the way you study has to change completely. Self-study just isn't going to cut it anymore. You need expert-guided study. It's a whole new ballgame. And this brings us to a really crucial point. You have to ditch the high school idea of self-study. The belief that you can just put in a few hours on your own, that's probably the single biggest myth that leads people to fail at this stage. The amount of dedication you need doesn't just increase, it multiplies. Whatever effort you put into foundation, you have to literally double it for intermediate. And then you have to double that effort again for the final exam. It's an exponential climb for sure. You hear it all the time from students, right? They'll say they're in coaching for 10 or 12 hours a day, and then they ask, but when do I get time for self-study? They're completely missing the point. That intense, guided, all-day effort, that is the new definition of study. It's not the prep for the real work, it is the work. The struggle itself becomes the teacher. Failing an attempt, maybe even two, it forces this profound change in you. It's a process. Let's call it the humbling. It's what teaches you realism. It teaches you respect for the challenge and a kind of maturity that, honestly, no textbook can ever give you. In a lot of ways, the CA journey itself is what teaches you about life.
Okay, so let's say you've survived the gauntlet. You've passed. After all that struggle, what does the finish line actually look like? What are the real returns on this immense investment of time and energy? First things first, let's be crystal clear about the odds here. When you average everything out, fewer than 1 in 10 students who start this journey actually end up becoming a chartered accountant. The funnel is incredibly narrow.
And for the few who do make it, the reward is typically a starting salary package in the range of about 7 to 10 lakhs per year, which in your bank account translates to around 60,000 to 80,000 rupees a month.
And this is the question everyone has to ask themselves, honestly. The investment isn't just about the money you pay for coaching. It's 5, 6, sometimes even 8 years of your prime youth, a period of your life you can never, ever get back. So is the outcome worth that price?
And there's another hidden cost to consider. The CA curriculum is technically brilliant. I mean, it's unmatched when it comes to accounting, auditing, and tax, but it often neglects the soft skills. We're talking about communication, teamwork, leadership. The very skills that are essential for climbing the corporate ladder and landing those top-tier jobs. So how do people get those coveted 20, 25 lakh packages? They have to build a profile that is close to perfect. This means you don't just pass, you clear every single exam on the first attempt, ideally as a rank holder. You also have to secure an articleship at a top firm, and on top of all that, demonstrate those strong communication skills we just mentioned. It's an incredibly high bar. So, considering the low pass rate, the immense effort required, and the reality of the salaries, we arrive at the most important question of all. What is the one single factor that determines if this path is actually right for you? And this is where it gets really, really personal. If your motivation is external, doing it for prestige, for your parents, or for that myth of a set life, you simply will not have the internal fuel to get through the years and years of hardship. So it all comes down to this one simple question: your why. The only motivation that's strong enough to help you survive this 5 to 8 year marathon is a genuine, deep down passion for accounting, for tax, and for finance. So before you take that first step, you have to ask yourself honestly, what is your why? Because your answer to that question will determine everything.